Hi guys, welcome to week 5. We're going to be talking about Twitter for professional learning this week. And I know a lot of you are probably like, what? I have never heard of using Twitter in any professional manner, let alone for educators. Well, there is this whole underworld of educational people on Twitter that use it for professional learning. And I'm going to introduce you to that this week. So the first thing, a lot of teachers say that they're roadblocks to using Twitter because they don't have time. It's all so crazy and busy and hashtags and crazy stuff. I don't even know where to start. But there are so many good things about using Twitter and making connections, helping to get that support system that we talked about last week with your PLN. And so all these people you see on the screen in the row, they are ones that I either know in person and connect on Twitter as well. So I have different interactions with them, but some of them I met on a Twitter chat, which I'll talk about later. Some of them I met on a Twitter chat and then know in person now, and I have presented with them at conferences or became a part of a leadership organization because of that connection on Twitter. So it has a lot of great applications for you as you grow being a learner and a leader in education. So if you're scared by Twitter, at first, what you can do is be a lurker. You do not need to tweet and share from day one. Now, in this class, you will be tweeting some things out. You'll be resharing or retweeting some things with different hashtags. But at first, you can just look around. You don't have to be out there prominent and first to do anything. So, but it's much more than just tweeting. So you can look at how people are using it as a learning tool. And there are about 5 or 6 different ways I'm going to show you the things that are really important about Twitter and how to use it, because it's really foundational part is about hashtags. And that seems kind of weird because a lot of people use them in crazy ways on shows, on websites and all of that. But really, the hashtag is all about connecting on Twitter. So I linked some here that you can explore. If you click here, there's a guy called Cyberyman, and he has a great website, even though it's not very visually helpful. But there's all kinds of hashtags that he's made there, or that he has kind of curated or collected here that can be helpful. Also, there are some right here on Casey Bell's Shake Up Learning. If you have not found this website yet, you need to do that. But you can look up any kind of hashtag down below and you can look for those. It's kind of like a database. Always remember to add them to your tweets because it gains the attention of different people. So lots of times schools will have their own hashtag, like Bolivar has Go Liberators. So if I do a search by Go Liberators, now right here it's in the middle of the summer, so it might not do much. But so David Guerin is the principal, and what they do, actually they're sharing a lot still. So Dr. Guerin was just the keynote speaker at the National Association for Secondary School Principals in Boston. And so they're celebrating his accomplishment. But anyway, so Go Liberators is on all of their tweets. And so if your parents or the community want to know what's going on, they can keep up through Twitter. I linked some other ones here. But it's just important to grab attention or to connect with the people you're looking for. So I posted this quite a while ago. I used to be the co-editor of this journal, the Missouri Reader, but I still share it. I'm not anymore, but I still share it. But I share it with pertinent hashtags so people who would be interested in reading it can find it. Because a lot of times people will search by hashtags. So secondary ELA, Eng Chat for English Chat, MoEd because it's from Missouri, and then NCTE, which is the National Council for Teachers of English. And they all have their own chat. And so these people would then be able to see my tweet there. So hashtags, really important. The other thing is engage in conversation. So if you're going to be a lurker at first, that's totally fine, but you need to eventually reply to people, retweet things that you agree with, make sure who the person is that you're retweeting, because that is a big thing. You can quote somebody in your tweet and put a comment there. You can mention other people. You can ask questions, just lots of stuff. Just know that the people on Twitter are, especially the educators, are really great and helpful in sharing their experiences, like this one. This tweet conversation started with somebody posting a blog post about mastery grading. And so here is just a collection of responses to that. How she's sharing. Now, these people did not use hashtags very well, but this was a thread that they started based on a blog post. And so you'll see just engaging in conversation, which started all with a blog post and a question. So number 3, ask questions. Really, there are no stupid questions. I ask questions all the time on Twitter. I use hashtags so I can gain people's interest and their focus. And I mention people directly. I mean, I have asked authors questions. I have asked principals questions about different things. Don't be afraid. Just get out there and tweet. And what are they going to do? What's the worst thing they're going to do? Maybe not answer you, but you'll never know if you don't try. Here's a question that someone was conducting some research about preferences of these different gaming things, Kahoot or quizzes. And you can actually import these polls and get comments back for those as well. So that's another way to ask questions. Number 4, respond with encouragement. You will see this hashtag joyful leaders, and it is so neat. There's so many encouraging people posting about different things. Lots of them will be quotes. There will be some words from different books. Make the days count. I mean, there's just lots of different things. Sometimes it's personal, but most of the time it is education related, and it'll have just celebrate Monday, joyful leaders, just people building each other up. So much encouragement. There's lots of gifts online, people using Bitmojis, images like this one. He was reading a book called Future Driven, which is actually David Guerin's book. He's written a book. And then he included this Bitmoji, just made it fun. I wonder what it would look like. And he had some responses to that. But just an encouraging thing. And here's another one, classroom management. So you've seen these things on Facebook and Instagram, and people do the same thing, similar things on Twitter. And here's one with the Bitmoji. This is actually called a book snap. And this Lance was reading this book, Kids Deserve It, and he is celebrating something that he read in there. So it's just a lot of people sharing really neat things that they're finding. Number 5 is follow people. You cannot really, you can be a lurker, you can interact kind of from the shadows, but following people is going to be really important to build your professional learning network. And you guys are going to be doing that assignment. I think it's due this week. And so you're going to follow people with similar interests. You can search by hashtag, subscribe to lists, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And then to find people that you would be interested in, find them by hashtag. That's really good. But if then after you find a couple of people, you can then look at their followers and who they're following, and you might find some more as well. So you can make lists on Twitter of different types of teachers. So like I have one that are PE teachers. I have another one that are speech and debate teachers. And so whenever you guys get to working on your PLM project, you can go to my list if you want to, and you can look at the list that I have that might be helpful to you. And then the final thing is participate in Twitter chats. And Twitter chats are things that happen at a certain time during the day. They are all around a hashtag. They happen usually with planned out questions. I actually did my dissertation on the secondary ELA Twitter chat and how they interacted, what they gained from it, the teachers, and all of that. So it's really, really interesting. And you can click on these links if you would like. This one, MoEd Chat, is a Missouri Educators Chat, and it happens on Thursday nights at 9. EdTech Chat happens on Monday nights at 7. And then here is a whole chat calendar, and it tells what different chats are happening at different times, and you can see there's explanations of what those are. And it's just a time to get support from people, but it's at a certain time. And so you can look that up. There's usually a moderator. So if you see this, I clipped this from a tweet. Excited to be hosting the second chat, which is second grade teachers. And then it tells what he's going to be talking about gamification, and all of that. And here's another one. This is the secondary ELA chat that I did my study on, and they posted even what times the questions would come out and what they were. But these would happen in real time. And anyway, so really interesting stuff. I have participated in hundreds of Twitter chats and connected with people and learned new ideas and resources and things. And here's some common things that you'll see in a Twitter chat. You can look at that if you would like to. And then here's some information if you want to participate in one. Now, back on our website here, I actually have kind of pulled out and given links to different, like here's the Twitter chat calendar, things that happen. So if you want to know more about Twitter chat specifically, you can do that. And go through those resources. Now, you are not required to participate in a Twitter chat this semester, just because I want you to become familiar with Twitter, and then you can explore that on your own if you would like. But you do need to be able to choose some hashtags to follow, because it is going to be a part of your Building Your PLM project, and you are going to, after you're exploring Twitter and all of that, you are going to find a Twitter chat you'd like to participate in. So if you are planning on being a first grade teacher, it might be hashtag first chat. If you're planning on being a high school English teacher, it might be that secondary ELA chat. And so you can find at least one of those to participate in, and then you're going to actually tweet about it. So you should have already created your Twitter account, and then I give some examples here about what you're doing. So that's really all about Twitter this week, and I hope that you find lots of things to look at and people to connect with, and just get excited about it and use it for your professional learning.